everybody, this is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive on Friday night. It is March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day. Woohoo! So, did you guys have a good night celebrating? If you celebrated last night for St. Patrick's Day, I sure did. Let's see if I get that light. It's a little hazy in the background there, but wow, my goodness, so many people already. Melody's here and Susan and Rose. Yay. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, you guys, that's so funny. I did that. I was just going onto the fun folds and I was working on drawing the winner and the fun folds was still up. I'm like, wow, there's so many people already live. That's awesome. Okay, well, hopefully we don't have any issues with the freezing tonight. We've been so good lately. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Cindy. There's Luann Johnson. Woohoo, and Carla Lake and Kay and Laura. Wow. Okay, so we do have a bunch of people here. Yay. That was so funny. I was like, wow, all these people in here already. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Sherry Martin. Hi, Deanne. Okay, so we had a great St. Patrick's Day party last night, you guys. Hi, Laura Wagand. Hi, Doris. Hi, Joan. It was good. My mom had about, I would have to say, 15 over for her annual St. Patty's Day party. Hi, Gloria. My dad and her were trying to figure out when they started doing that St. Patrick's Day party. Hi, Lynn Beasley. I think we pegged it back to the early 2000s, so probably over 20 years. Hi, Cheryl Thomas. And so she remembers having it with like a boyfriend from many moons ago. So that's how we kind of like date things of like, who are you dating at the time? And so that's why we figured out it was that far back. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Christine. All right. So today, you guys, we had a dreary day here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It is overcast and it's been trying to snow. It's really crazy. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Krissa. My dad said last night before we left that we were supposed to get 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow today, and we have none, except for we did get some rain, some on and off rain. Krista, what's it doing down by you? Like, I feel like we were supposed to get all the snow and it never came. And so, you guys, every day I get better. Last night I slept really good. I finally was able to sleep on my back again and not wake up with the congestion stuff. So, whew, it's every day is better and better and better. And I hope that you think I'm sounding better because my mom got here today and she said, wow, you're even sounding better today. So it's amazing how good you feel when you feel good, if that makes any sense. I think so. But so we have an awesome class for you guys tonight. It's really weird to have a class on a Friday night. I don't do them very often. Last night somebody asked me, well, when do I normally do classes? And yesterday was just a ad hoc afternoon class, which was really weird. And not having class last night kind of threw me off. Hi, Marcia. It's raining by you too. Okay, that's what I've kind of figured. Hi, Barbara Moynan. Hi, Karen Karstay. So it's weird having a class on a Friday, especially the monthly class of all classes. So it's very rare that I will not schedule a class on a Thursday night because of a prior, like, because of the day of the month or whatever the holiday it is. So it happened with, I think, Christmas not too long ago and New Year's. And so it's been off these last few months with a few changes in the schedule. So I think that just to prep you guys, hi, Mary. Hi, Donna. I want to remind you that Mystery Card Night is coming up on Monday night. I was thinking about that. I'm like, what's Monday? It's the 21st and we have Mystery Card Night. And tomorrow I roll into a double header. So on one Saturday a month, I do a double header class. And so I have this class that we're doing tonight. We're having it in person tomorrow at 10. And hi, Lynn Beasley. You have a spring day, a beautiful, almost a spring day here. Awesome. We've had some warmer weather here, so it's been nice. And then tomorrow afternoon, you guys, the New Horizons class. Woo, you guys. Mom and I kitted up 20 more sets of kits today. All of them are accounted for. I was lucky that I ordered some more of the New Horizons paper before it went out of stock last weekend. And I had originally made up 56. That's what Anna had originally die cut for. And then I added 12 more, which brought it up to 60 something, 64, 68. I don't remember. And then I just did 20 more. Hi, Lisa Nealon. So you guys, I thought Fun Folds was crazy with 88. I think I have 84 with the New Horizons class. And I am waiting on one person to confirm if they're coming in person on Wednesday. They had said that they were interested. And if they come, then they're all gone. If that person decides not to come, then I would have one set left. Wow, isn't that crazy? Oh, yay, Carol made it to, oh my gosh, Carol, awesome. You made it live, yay. Hi, Lisa. All right, so I think, Carol, this is your first time watching me live, woohoo. So Carol just did the Fun Folds class with me for the first time. The kits are getting mailed out today. We finally connected and I got our address. And so, Carol, you'll need to go back into my video section of the Facebook page and find the Fun Folds class so that you can watch that one. So, hi, Patricia. 70 degrees in Rhode Island. Awesome. 70 sounds amazing. So, you guys, I went to the bank and the post office today to drop off all those packages, and I just wore this sweatshirt with no hat, and I got to the bank, and I said, wow, it feels really warm out there. And she looks at the thermometer, and she's like, it's 37 degrees. I'm like, it felt warm. So, so any bit colder, and we're going to get our snow if we get those few degrees. So, all right. Hi, Rose. Oh, have a good evening as well, Rose. I hope you enjoy the live tonight. So you guys, in case you missed it, Kelly did, and I said this yesterday during the live, but sometimes you guys don't catch all the lives. I just wanted to remind you that Kelly did a Technique Thursday yesterday, doing the watercolor with making a rainbow. So if you guys missed that, make sure you tune in and watch the replay for that, which was yesterday. We were talking about New Horizons. This is what we have for you guys next week on the 24th of March. I have a whole bunch of you guys signed up. I think 59 people totally for the online version for next week on the 24th. And you guys just love these cards. There's not a lot of stamping, you guys. It'll be really easy. This the designer series paper is what speaks. This is my favorite one right here. It just I've never been to Scotland. Hi, Carolyn Ketchmark. I've never been to Scotland, but I feel like that's what it would look like. And then that one. So these are Kyler gave us some really good grades on this. So in case you guys are looking for something to do next week, you can definitely watch the Facebook Live. You guys the Facebook Lives are free to watch. You don't ever have to pay me for them. I love doing it to help you guys get inspiration and be creative. But it's always, if you want card kits from me, that's where we need to make sure we connect to get you card kits. Hi, Sandy Zdoon. Hi, Jody Storman. So I have a few Hive gifts that I want to show you guys. So Anna Rabadou came over. You guys remember how on Tuesday I had cut my finger with a die and I put a piece of tape on it? Well, Anna came over with a card and a box of Band-Aids. And so now we've got some Hive Band-Aids. So very pretty card. I love it. If you guys want to see that up close, it's like she stamped this white sunflower on black paper. Hi, Randy Schultz. And then she colored, it's foilish. It's so cool. Maybe if Anna pops in, she can tell us how she colored the sunflower. It looks very shimmery. So we've got some Hive Band-Aids, and then Naughty Nancy Stormer gave me a Hive gift. She couldn't help see it. She's like, well, this needs to belong in the Hive. And so she got me this little dish. It's supposed to be for honey, but you guys, it's going to sit as decoration on the edge over here. So yay! I should have brought some Band-Aids in here. I do. I just bring like onesie twosies, and then they get used up. So, yes, the bee is super cute. Okay, so I don't have much. We've been going crazy all week with class. I feel like we just had class yesterday. We had Tip Tuesday. I don't know if I have anything really extra to really talk about except for I am going to do April showcase. Now, okay, at the end of class, you guys, I'm going to show you the April cards that are for the monthly class for next month. I got the last card done. Hi, Janet Flanagan. On date night on Tuesday, I coaxed, whatever the word is, I lured Tyler up to my craft room. And I said, I need your help. I am sounding much better. I feel so much better, Linda. I appreciate that. Hi, Patty Stebbins. And so I kind of lured Tyler up to the craft room. I said, I need your help. I'm working on a card, and it's very nature-esque. and I just need your input. I have one thing I need to figure out on it, and I thought you could help me. And so he went upstairs and he helped me design the last card, and I'm so excited. He was so proud of the card. Like he had to hang on to it for a while afterwards. You know, like when you finish making a card and you're so proud of it, you don't like, you want to have it right in front of you. So when we're done with the live, I'm gonna make sure. And I know somebody will help remind me, but I got them right here, and I want to make sure I show you the cards. You guys stay tuned to the end so I show you the April monthly cards, and the one is courtesy of Tyler helping me, so I love it. So I was talking though about an April showcase. I think that now that I have the Memories and More done and that card done, basically all the cards for April are designed except for the in-person card buffet, and I'm going to work on them next week. But I plan to do my live video showcasing all the card classes for April in the next few days. And the reason I want to do it now, already so far away, is because game night is coming up really quick, and that Memories and More class is coming up, and I want to make sure you guys catch them so that you can get registered for them sooner rather than later. So hi Wendy McCormick, hi Hildy. So that's what I've got. Hi, Susan Reed. So that's what I've got coming up sometime. I don't know if that live will be on maybe Sunday or Monday is what I'm thinking. So my St. Patrick's Day celebration was awesome, Hildy. I appreciate that you asked. It was very good. It was good to see the friends and family. My brother was there with his fiance and my mom's friends that they have been friends with for forever. They have not missed a St. Patrick's Day party, I don't think ever. In probably 25 years, we were trying to think back. Probably since the early 2000s, so it's 20 years for sure. So that was awesome. All right, so we're going to do roll call, and I'm going to call out, there's 23 gals that signed up for the online version of this class. Hi, Patsy Roberts. So we have Sandy Wicklander, Angela Knutson, Kathy Groves, Barbara Barco, Deanna Stell, Sue Somerville, Kathy King, Dee Serena, Patsy Roberts, Laura Sullivan, Jeannie Parker, Gwen Petrashek, Barb Johnson, Barb Moynihan, Wendy Westmoreland, Marlene Behrens, Rachel Horsch, Laura Wood, Kat Fronick, Lynn Beasley, Carmen Melendez, Katie Garbish, and last but certainly not least, Carla Lake. So awesome, you guys. I had 23 that did the online version, and I had 8 for the club because I do this class for the club. I've got 5 coming tomorrow, and I had a small crew. Actually, I only had 3 on Wednesday night, but I had 9 Wednesday afternoon. So all in all, a total of 48 people for my monthly class, which was awesome. Not my highest, but pretty high up there. I love it. So lots of you guys checking in, and it's always nice to have you on here too, Sandy. I'm so happy that you joined us. So, oh, the monthly cards. It's so crazy that it's already March and we're over halfway done, you guys. It just blows my mind. So there's 3 cards for March, and I think we're going to start with the rain boots first. And we're going to end with the bunny last. So everybody that paid for class or either got it free with an order, your PDF tutorial, I believe I sent them out Sunday night. So if you don't have it yet, make sure you check your email. What I find that people do, they say that helps them, is they take my PDF tutorials when they get the email and they put it in a folder. That's called like Cards by Christine. And then when they go back to look for it, they don't have to look through their entire inbox. And so I know some people are more organized than others, but that's always a trick in case you have a hard time finding emails. And so just know that this PDF was sent out Sunday night, which was the 13th. So, all right. So what do we have here, you guys? Are you ready for class? Oh my gosh, I feel so crazy that we're getting started so quick. So let's flip down here. This is the card we're going to work on first tonight. So I think, oh, I got to show you guys this. Hang on. So I did the Winter Creative Escape for demonstrators back in January. And this is one of the cards that we designed. Chris and I designed this for the Winter Creative Escape. And I converted it into an A2 size card for the monthly class. So basically you can see everything kind of got squished down together and then like easily convert it into a slimline if you want. So some of you did this card kind of in the version of the slimline card. Thanks for sharing, Susan. I so greatly appreciate it. So we're going to be working on this one first. I think this one is my favorite. The majority of the people said the bunny card that we're going to do in a little bit is their favorite, but I really like it just reminds me like that spring is coming and the colors are so soft and refreshing. So ink is Pool Party. And then you guys, there is this oddball stamp here that is from Artistically Inked. Okay. It is this, it looks like a snowstorm or a smoke screen or something. Hi, Margaret Rika. And so it just is a background texture. So if you don't have Artistically Inked, find something that will create some sort of splotchy background. And you can see it's very subtle. It doesn't stand out, but it just makes it so that Pool Party is just got some texture to it, okay? So don't fret if you don't have this stamp. Find something else. But that's what we're going to be using. And then the other stuff that we're using from this set, so it's called Flowering Rain Boots. And we're going to be using this, the flowers, your ink can or your watering can. It should be already die cut for you. Your little garden fork. Oh my gosh, that looks so neon-y in the camera. Wow, look at that. Look at the difference, you guys. Isn't that crazy? It looks like it's glowing in the dark and then it's not. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna try to see if I can put that so it's not so glow in the dark. All right, so you guys will have a bunch of stuff that we use from this, but if you don't have it, we'll figure out something else too. The trellis thing, the die comes from here, the little gardening tool comes here, the watering can, the boots. So if you guys remember, there was a paper pumpkin, hi Joanna, from many years ago that had the boots in it, maybe 3 years ago. And they kind of reinvented it into a stamp set. Okay, so the other color ink that we're gonna need is coral. So basically Pool Party and Calypso Coral, and all the other stamps come basically from that Flowering Rain Boots. So let's get all of our stamps out here, guys, and grab our card kit. So what do we have here? Our base is gray granite. So gray granite is very, very similar to smoky slate, but it has more of a brown undertone to it. In case you're wondering too, you guys, the Flowering Rain Boots, it comes from the mini catalog that goes through June 30th, and the Artistically Ink is in the annual catalog, which goes through May 3rd, I think. So they're going to be announcing the retiring list here in the next couple weeks. And as soon as they do, you guys, I'm going to schedule a retirement list walkthrough. Okay, so you guys, lots of little pieces in your kit. So be very careful as you pull all your bits and parts. This is your trellis, you guys. This die is so cool. It cuts out, it's really funny, it cut out all these little squares out of the center, but I don't think any of them really stayed in. So you have one of these, and I know that it shows two here, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up cutting it in half, okay? So that's one thing you have in your kit. You also have, so I don't know, I must have stamped some of my things already, but you have a little rectangle here is for your seed packet. I did have this a die cut for you, plus I gave you a little piece of white paper about that big to stamp it. You will have your watering can, and this is some of that supple shimmer paper. It's iridescent-y, and it's got this blue hue to it, and it's kind of matches the Pool Party. So that's one. You have a stitched rectangle, and that's from the Stitched Rectangles set. So there's that. We'll stamp a sentiment. You guys have a little slip of ribbon. It's about 2 inches, and what you will need to do is cut it in half like that. So you have 2 inches, and you're gonna have to cut them into 1-inch sections, one for each side. You'll have a little silver fork, the little gardening tool, so that one. And then you'll have a part of a handle. You might not have the whole thing like this because Anna cut just the handle part here. So you have a little handle. You have a little shelf that is embossed with the bark embossing folder with the gray granite. You also, in your kit, will have some of these faux sea glass shapes. So you'll have 5 total. There'll be a combination of the white and this Pool Party color. Okay, so those are in your kit as well. The piece of designer is from the Flowering Fields, which is a 3x4. So we're gonna be using this side. Now that sheet is all different colors, you guys. Some of you will have some pink in it. Some of you will have more white. Some will have, in this case, more blue. That piece of paper is a mixture of the blue, the white, and the pink. So everybody's gonna have a different section of that 12 by 12. So don't think you got the wrong paper if you don't have pink for any reason, or if you don't have white, or if you don't, you know, you're gonna have a combination of those 3 colors. Then you have 2 mats, which are 4 by 5 1/4, and one's pool party and one's the white for the inside. And you'll have a gray granite piece. You guys, there's so many pieces in this kit. Okay, so try not to lose anything. Set it in a pile. So Kathy Groves always says what she does is she makes sure her desk is clear, and then she opens up her envelope to see what's inside. So remember, this is a horizontal card, so you want to lay it out this way, and it'll open up like that. And then this is the gray granite. Oh, yeah, it's never fun when you're feeling not good. So, but it's one of those things that I believe that hopefully we generally get over things, and then we appreciate when we're not feeling sick. That's how it works. So thanks, Sandy. All right, let's stamp our pool party first. So I'm going to grab a little scratch paper here. And the thing with this pool party is it can be dark, depending on if you've just re-inked your ink pad or not. Hi, Julie Bierschbach. So what I like to do is I'm going to stamp off here to see how dark it is. And you know what? If you're good with how dark that is, you don't have to do second strength. But if your pool party stamps it a little bit darker, you may want to consider doing second strength. But I'm going to go straight over to here and do first strength. And I don't like everything to look so uniform. So I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit. So kind of turning this back and forth. And I am not concerned about the middle section. You guys, I don't want to waste any ink. So I'm not going to even bother to stamp the inside because it gets covered up. So ultimately what I'm doing is just creating this awesome border that is around the edge of the pool party. So that's all you need to do with the pool party ink. So I got that little guy here, and there's the die. So as I go, I think what I'm going to do is make sure I keep my stamps clean because I have this one more class tomorrow. Thanks for sharing the love, Julie. I appreciate it. Okay, so that's it for our pool party. So there's a lot going on with coral, though. Coral. So our inside, some people just did not like the rain boots. So I have on the inside a pair of rain boots. If you're not a fan of the rain boots, you guys, and you have this stamp set, you could definitely stamp this pot with some flowers. That would be super cool. You could put a seed packet in the inside. You could put the watering can. You don't have to do the rain boots. And if you might not even have this set in general, then you're going to figure out something else to stamp anyways. So I'm going to grab the piercing mat, though, because these are photopolymer stamps. And so I'm going to ink them up. How do I take care of my chamois, Wendy asks. So my chamois resides, its home is in this clear plastic case. And every now and then, when I feel like my stamps aren't getting as clean as I think they should be, I'll take and rinse this underneath the tap water, and some of the ink will come out. It will always stay stained. The other thing is, I don't know if you can see, there's a line. I don't know if you can see there's a line here. It's starting to get dry and crunchy. So chamois will dry out. And if you notice your chamois starts to get dry, just take and rinse it out. I do know that sometimes, did I just do something right there? I think I did. So you know what we're going to do, you guys? I'm going to let it marinate for a really long time while I answer that question. Some people, you guys, they do have issues with it starting to smell musty. And it's because it's got water, right? And if water sits dormant for a while, you might get issues. But generally, if you're rinsing it out and washing it enough, if you do notice, you could use, I have over here the Myers hand soap. I don't know if, there it is. You got the Myers hand soap. And it's freesia flavored, so it smells really pretty. You guys, oh my gosh. I'm like, what is going on here? Look at this. Did this ever happen to you? Look at this. There's a piece of plastic from Embellishments on there. I'm like, why is that not working? Oh my goodness, you guys, hang on. Now we got to get a different piece of white. That was funny. Did you guys see that? Because I sure as heck didn't see that. It was stuck to the stamp. Oh man. Okay, hang on. We're gonna cut a new piece here. So I'm cutting this at 4 by 5 1/4. So 4. Hi, Mary Ann. Okay, 5 1/4. Perfect. Okay, so wow, I'm like, why is that little square thing stamping? I thought maybe I moved the stamp while I was talking, but I sure didn't. So you know what I'll do, you guys? Oh, so one's on one side, one's on the other. I'll use this for something else, and then I'll use that for something else. So I never would just throw that away. Hi, Kathy Groves. Okay, we're going to try that again. So yeah, if you do develop a smell to your chamois, don't be afraid to take some sort of pretty smelling something. You can even put it in the washer and wash it with detergent. So, all right, we got rain boots. Woohoo! Okay, so that's what we got there. We have a little stitched rectangle. And not bowling tonight, Kathy. I see. Hi, Susie Stocks. Hi, Debbie. We're going to put here, live life in full bloom. And that's going to go right there. Hi, Susan Pacheco. And then, all right, so then we got that. And we got our little seed packet. You guys, I'll stamp the back of it, but I already got the front done for some reason. And I guess I was working ahead when I made my kits. So we'll take whichever side looks better. Ooh, that's good. Very good. Oh, that's good too. Okay, so we'll go with that one. And then the last thing is the flowers. So you guys, when I give you a die cut like this, and hi Carol, you may or may not have the stamp set. So I guess if it's very specific to the stamp, if you don't have it, I also give you a piece of white so that you can stamp your own flowers. But because this is photopolymer, you should be able to hover right over the top of that and stamp that pretty good. So perfect. I like that one better though. So if you don't have this exact stamp though, just know that you have a piece of white. It's about so big. And you can also just stamp your own flowers to put on top of the watering can. You wouldn't even necessarily have to do flowers, but I think you're gonna need something with the trellis there. Okay, so there's that. I think one last thing. I pulled in a stamp set here called Pansy Patch for the in-person peeps that says here, happy birthday. And so I do have happy birthday here. And I think, you know what? Because this is going to be a prize for somebody, I'm not going to put happy birthday in it. We're going to leave it blank so they can use it for however they want. So we'll get some assembly action going here. All right, so our pool party and the white, flip them over and we can definitely glue them. Thanks for sharing, everybody. I appreciate it so much. We'll do that. And we're going to glue this one. And let's get that off to the side here. Pool party. And no, there's no top or bottom to this. I don't think there is. It should be the same all the way around. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have our boots for on the inside. And when it comes to your little gardening tool, what you're going to have to do for this is you're going to have to cut off this, depending on how much of it you have or you don't have. Hi, Linda Hall. You're going to have to cut this off wherever you think the metal starts. You might not have had all 4 or all 3 of the little fingers there. You might have had a portion of it. But all in all, what you need to do is get the handle here. And we're going to have to put a little teensy tiny little bit of adhesive, some glue back there. And we're doing this now so it can sit and dry. All right, let's see how I can glue this there. So that little handle is going to go right on top of the silver like that. So you guys, that's how you get like two-tone die cutting going on. So you got the little coral handle that matches. So that's ready. Okay, so how do we do this? Hi, Shar. So what do we got here? We have this piece. So you guys, what I would recommend you do for those that have the kits, like turn this around to see how you're gonna like it best. So if I put this like that, I'm gonna see more of the white up there. Where if I do it like this, I'm gonna see more of the blue. So you just need to kind of figure out what you think you'll want. I think I wanna see more white up there since there's already a lot of pool party going on. And what happens here is this, I look at it as like a ledge. And hi, Sue Sorrell. And it's gonna get glued on here. So I'm gonna flip over And I'm actually going to use some tear-in tape. And I'm going to put that tear-in tape along the edge of either side at the moment. They're pretty much interchangeable. But what's going to happen is this ledge gets glued onto the designer paper. And just a little bit, so it might be easier to see it from this direction. But you're only going to have them overlap a little. I didn't use liquid glue because I just have a little bit overhanging, and I don't want to risk getting glue all over the place. Yes, Linda, feeling much better today. I woke up and I had a really good night's rest last night. All right, so there's that. And now what I'm going to do is take some more tear-in tape, and I'm going to prep the sides here so that I can put down my ribbon. So this is the white frayed ribbon. You guys, we've used that a couple times so far. We did that artfully layered class. So once you have yours cut in half, what you're going to do is take one side and you're going to adhere it to the corner like that. And then you can take the other side and adhere it to the other corner. Like that. Something like that. All right, perfect. What I'm going to do is put a couple more pieces of tear-in tape right over to kind of secure it more. And then we're going to use some, yeah, the tulips. I know it's so hard covering up the tulips. You guys can use the tulips. For those that have this, you can use whichever side of the DSP trips your trigger, whichever one. They're both so pretty. Patsy, I don't know what you mean by guess not. I don't know if you had asked me a question and I missed it or if you had something else. So if you could elaborate, if you need me to answer something, I would be happy to. So I'm going to put those dimensionals there. So basically what I did is attach that gray shelf to my designer paper and then put, hi Debbie Schultz. Oh, yep, it's Debbie Schultz. And then I put my ribbon and then I popped it up with dimensionals, and now I'm going to adhere this as one piece over the top of the card front. I'm trying to center it left to right, top to bottom, all that good stuff, like that. Okay, so that's a good start. Now what we talked about is this trellis thing needs to get cut in half, and there are 7 diamonds, and so you're going to cut it in half at 3.5. Hi, Penny Powell. And you're going to want to make sure that you put the 2 raw edges underneath the pot. Perfect. So then these are going to get glued right here. I know it's Friday night, Susan. It's so crazy. It's like usually by the end of the week, Friday comes and it's like you're so exhausted, you just want to relax. Hi, Penny. Superwoman, you're funny. So I'm just, you guys, not a lot. You don't have to put glue over the entire surface of this little trellisy thing. But the first one goes something like here, I'm guessing. I'm just using mine as a guide. And then I'm going to put a little glue on the other one as well. Again, I don't have to, I'm trying to spread it out really thin. If you make this super thick, it's going to ooze out all over the place. So you don't need to put a lot of glue back there. This would be a perfect die to use adhesive sticker sheets with too, that you actually die cut it with the sticker sheet on the back. Okay, so that's good. This flowering pot and this sentiment. All right, Gloria, have fun at your event. The concert should go. Oh, it's an Eric Church concert. Now I'm jelly. I love Eric Church. He is amazing. Enjoy every second of every minute of your concert. Hi, Feline. Okay, and then I'm going to see if I have some little dimensionals. We're going to use one of those right here. And hi, Noreen. Hi, Nancy Charles. So I'm going to put the flower or the, you guys, I keep calling it a flowering pot, but it's not. It's a watering can. So that's going to get put just so it's kind of on the ledge of our table here, or the shelf. And I'm not going to push it down really hard yet because I want to just test to make sure my flowers are going to cover up. If for some reason you see the edge of that one still popping up, what you can do is take your scissors and you can snip off part of that to just trim it down a little bit. And then we're going to test it out one more time. So I can actually move this up just a hair so that it's a little higher up, and then that's going to go there. So that'll be perfect then. And hi, Kathy Penner. And then this guy's going to go at the top of that. Something like this. I know, right? I definitely go through the dimensionals. Hi, Heather Brenner. And then we've got our little sentiment saying, and that's going to rest on our shelf over here as well. I've got it a little bit to the left, so it's kind of off to the left of the designer paper. Now the little seed packet, we had a great debacle about, is this the top? Or if you look at it, there's a banner. So is that the top or is that the top? And so I think what we discovered is that the banner goes at the top. And so this kind of partly overlaps this. And so I'm going to put my dimensional closer to the bottom. And then I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue. Hi, Ann Ballinger. You finally made it. Woohoo. And then we're going to put this so it's like resting on the watering can like that. Nice. Now, this little fork thing, I did definitely pop it up really carefully. So grab your glue scissors. And I'm going to take a little bit off the edge over here. I'm cutting myself a skinny little strip here. Hi, Becky. And then we're going to put that. I might have it too long, so we're going to see here. Oh, yeah, but it's thin enough at least. So it's just a hair too long, so we're going to just trim off that little back end there. And then, so you guys saw what I did. I cut myself a little bit of a dimensional here. Hi, Sue Somerville, a wee bit late. And then I've got this just hanging on the side here, like that. And if you wanted to, you could put a little dot of liquid glue right underneath here in the, like where the three forks kind of meet, or the fingers kind of meet, just to help it stay flat. And then, wow, I think we might be all the way done except for our bling. So these faux sea glass shapes, hi Mary Ellen from Montana, they are not in stock, you guys, at the moment. I had enough packs that I could have enough on hand for what I needed for my classes, which was awesome. The pebbles came back in stock last week, but these guys are still out. I don't remember the exact date that they'll be back, but you guys got 5 of them. And they were either like 3 white and they were either 3 white and 2 blue, or vice versa. I do sound much better and I feel much better. I don't feel like $1,000,000 yet, but I'm getting there. I said that to a few people this week. I'm like, I hope I take a nap and I wake up and I feel like $1,000,000. It didn't quite happen as fast as I was hoping it would, but you always get through it, right? Hi, Cindy Kaiser. Beautiful card, beautiful colors. I'm happy you like it. All right, you guys, this card right here just gives me the inspiration I need to know that spring is right around the corner. So, and just know there is going to be some slight variation between your card and mine if you got the kits from me because of that background designer paper. Some of you are going to have more of that pinky in there and some aren't. So, hi Jean Terwilliger. And so, but all in all, we've got some little rocks on our ledge. I thought those pebbles were perfect. So it was awesome. Okay, so you guys, we got one fabulous, beautiful card done. My favorite. You guys, it's really weird. We started with my favorite. Normally, we don't start with my favorite. Normally, we end with my favorite. But that one is it. So I'm going to tell you guys, you got to be really careful. When you do buy these embellishments, I always slice my packaging like this. I hate this thing. I did a Tip Tuesday on this once, but I hate that gooey part. But you have to be very careful when you're putting these in and out of the packaging, because if you just slide this in, the plastic wants to curl down and it will flip off your little stones here. So as I'm shutting this, I lift up the plastic and I hold it up as I slide them in, and then they don't get caught. So just know if you just push it straight in like this, sometimes they'll go and then they'll like fly through the air with the greatest of ease. Okay, so yay, we got one done, and I am going to clean these. Hi, Melody Miller. Oh, Kay says it's cute. Brenda Lee is from Ontario, Canada. Hi, Brenda. Cindy says, so cute, the garden fork. Yeah, so that garden fork, you guys, you know, it's so funny. When you see a set of dies and you're like, oh, I like all these dies, but there's one thing that just draws your attention to the dies. this die set, that fork in here just made me want these dies. Out of everything in here, it was that little fork. That was just so adorbsy. Oh, I love it. Okay. Hi, Donna from North Carolina. All right, so there we go. We got one card done. And let's see what we got next in our pocket here. All right, I said we were going to end with an easy card, so we're going to end in the bunny card. So we're going to do the octopus next. Also, if you trim the corners before putting them in the plastic, it will slide so much easier. Yes, good tip there, Laura. I appreciate that. Mary Ellen got my card today. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, thanks for sharing, Donna. I appreciate it. Next, you guys, is our octopus card. So we just did a fun folds and we used the octopus right here, you guys. I have a winner chicken dinner already for this one, but we did the octopus last, what was it, the 10th, a week ago. And then we used him again for the March monthly class. And we're going to do some blending. So I got my sheet here with my blending brush ready. But let's grab a card kit and we'll set that here. What you guys were going to need for colors and stuff, I'll tell you in a second, but the stamp set is called Seize the Day. So we use the octopus. We've got the grass here, this is the foliage. Have you talked about the party from last night yet? Yeah, Kathy, it was amazing. Oh my God, the Reubens were so good. Let me think about it. There was green Jello. There was a fruit pizza, and it was in the shape of a rainbow. So Pam Petrie had a circle of the cookie crust, right? And she cut the circle in half, which makes a rainbow. And she had blueberries at the bottom, and then kiwi, mandarin oranges, strawberries, and pineapple. And so we had a fruit pizza that was a rainbow, which was super, super cool. Pistachio tort for dessert. And oh my gosh, a lettuce salad, and green bean casserole. Oh my God, my favorite. My mom puts the French fried onions on the top, and I put French fried onions on top of everything, but it makes it so good. So lots of green food. It was really good. Thanks for asking. I love it. So it was really fun. And we just got to, chitty chat with everybody. So Seize the Day is the stamp set. You guys, the dies are awesome. And so this one has a bunch of dies though. And on the back, I've got where the grass and the octopus go. So that's sometimes what I do when green beer, you know what? I don't think my mom had the food coloring out last night. Normally she does, but Tyler and I were the only ones drinking beer. And I've decided I'm not going to put artificial coloring in my diet to make my green beer. So we didn't have green beer last night, but we have in the past years. So, okay. And let's see here. Let's get this out of the plastic so you don't see the shininess. So ink colors we're talking about. So we're going to need Pear Pizzazz, Bermuda Bay, some Coastal Cabana. Oh my gosh, so many colors on this one. There's Flirty Flamingo. Oh, there's not a lot of room left. Flirty Flamingo, and then So Saffron. And so we've got the octopus ready. We've got a sentiment ready. Got a little pile of scraps here. You guys, oh man. So it was the hardest thing. This is not a squid. But if you how many of you actually read the PDF tutorial and saw that I called it a squid? I was like, nope, I'm not going back. I think you guys get that it's the thing. It's something. We figured it out. It's really a jellyfish. It's not a squid. Just saying, I definitely wrote squid in the PDF tutorial. So there's our foliage. You might want to have a sponge dauber or like some sort of a sponge, Q-tippy type thing. So here is the little octopus die. That got used. And what else here? Oh, in your kit, you guys, will be some opal rounds. That's what it looks like. Tiny bubbles. Make me happy, something. So in your kit, you guys, I will tell you, you definitely did not get a hot dog style on this card. I had all of the Bermuda Bay scored properly at 5.5 to give you hot dogs. A hot dog is a long skinny version, and then the hamburger's the other. And I went over to my cutter and I cut all of the paper hamburger style. And so then I had to go back and score each one of them individually as a hamburger. And so I'm like, no, we're going with hamburgers instead of hot dogs. So my sample here, you guys, is a hot dog style, but just know that you got hamburgers instead. Okay, so this is referred to as a hot dog. And then the last card, and the majority of cards are hamburgers. Okay, so yeah, so and all in all, it's still an A2 size card with the final dimensions being 5.5 by 4 1/4. So all good. So we've got that going on. Oh, I don't know why I have 2 of these, but I only need 1. So you guys, there is, if you look at this really close up, it's shimmery white. So I know you can't see it in the camera, but those who got kits from me, if you look at it, there's sparklies in it. So it's the shimmery white paper, and that is this background piece here, which we are going to be coloring blue. You have this outline. Anna cut all these. I don't know. I believe that you will have to do a little pokey to get the last little bits and parts out. So go ahead and poke that stuff out. You might get some bubble pieces that you need to get popped out. So that is in the pool party color. You have a piece of pool party ribbon. I promise you, you'll lose it if you don't pay attention. It's so sheer that you can't see it all the time. There's a piece of greenery, your foliage. Hi, Judy Bobo. You're gonna have to poke out that as well. Any little bits and parts that are kind of still attached in the centers, just pop them out. And, oh, you guys, we didn't Stella anything on that last card. We'll have to go grab it back. You have a piece of octopus. Hi, Brenda. That looks like this. It's not a piece of octopus. It is the octopus. And so you have it like this, and you also have a piece of white that is this big in case you don't have the octopus, that you could stamp a fish or do something else. But we'll talk about this in a second. You have this label, which is from the Tasteful Labels die. So we'll use that too in a second. Oh, hi, Carol Schaefer. Better late than never. So let's get this stuff. And then you have 1 white mat that is for your inside. It's just a basic white mat. So let's do a little stampy first. So our inside, let's go for that first. So let's flip this over. A piece of, yeah, it's a piece of octopus. That did not sound good, Patsy. Oh man, I even repeated it then. Oh, it is the whole being. All right, so we've got I'm gonna tell Tyler I said that. He'll get a chuckle out of that too. All right, so we're stamping our little bit of foliage, our seaweed here. Let's get that stamped first, okay? And that is in Pear Pizzazz. So then you're done with that. So if you guys look at this close up, can you see that our jellyfish is two-toned? Isn't that awesome? It's so cute. I was just reading your comment. Wasn't my crew so I can watch more. Okay, good. It's a two-tone jellyfish. So let's show you how we do that. So what you're gonna do is take the So Saffron ink. Oh, yeah, make calamari. That would be awesome. All right, so we're gonna take our So Saffron, and we need our Flirty Flamingo. So have those both open, and you're going to see how dark your So Saffron is. Mine is pretty dark. Oh, that's actually pretty light. So I'm not gonna stamp off. I'm gonna go straight for strength. So what you do is grab your sponge dauber, and you're gonna put some Flirty Flamingo in it. And so you've got So Saffron on your stamp right now, and you're just gonna put Flirty Flamingo around the edges. You can do as much or as little as you desire, but just know the more you put on, the pinker it's gonna get, and the less you put on, the more yellow it's gonna have. And he's kind of like sneaking out, and he's like scurrying around the foliage. So we're gonna stamp him kind of close to there because he's hanging out. He's kind of like trying to be incognito. So you see that? Isn't that super cool? It put the pink around the edges, and then I got little tentacles, got a little pink on them too. So it's up to you how much you want to do with the pink or not do with the pink, but that's all I did with the So Saffron in this case. Okay, so as long as we got the Flirty Flamingo open, we're going to work on our our octopus die. And so 2 things you could do with this octopus. You have a die cut piece. If you do not have this exact stamp, you could take your sponge dauber and you could put Flirty Flamingo all over him. Let's do the back side here. So you could just color him, right? With color. Add color. And you basically understand it's an octopus, right? Because it's got its 8 tentacles, right? So you could color him and be better, color better than me. I'm just kind of slopping it all on here, as my mom would say, slopping it on. So you could create your own octopus. Just know that the octopus has eyes. It's really hard to see them. You don't know where to look for them, but they are like right. I'm going to try to put my finger right there. They're like, there's 2 of them right there. Oh, the camera's going really weird, but like right there and right there are his eyes. They're not up higher like where our eyes are on our head, okay? So I had to really look for them. So if you're going to do this and you want to give them some eyes, you would put them like there and there, okay? So now you have this die cut, and let's say you do have this stamp, and you don't want to waste this piece of paper because Anna cut it out so nicely for you. You could take, and this is your upside down stamping, ink it up good. Yeah, 2 little black dots, got it. You could do that. And then this, you might get it, you might not get it. I don't know, I can't tell you. It depends on how good you are with putting your piece of paper on here, but get that lined up. I had a piece of scrap paper, maybe I didn't. So, and then what I do is I put that scrap paper, and now I'm gonna just rub on this. And this is what I call upside down stamping, using up that piece of paper that's die cut, seeing if you can get it. All right, so this is your option 2. And, okay, not bad. So you've got, that is your upside down stamping. Okay, now if that didn't turn out good and you want to use that white piece of paper that I put in your kit as a scrap piece of paper, and you have the octopus, oh, I'm charged 100%, nice. If you have the octopus, or, you know, there was a different stamp set from a couple years ago that had an octopus, you could use that. You could use a fish. I saw some alternative cards from the fun folds that you guys did, and you used something else other than an octopus. And so, sky's the limit, you guys. Use whatever works for you. Let's see here, though. This one, on the outside, it says, wishing you oceans of happiness. You know what? I'm going to leave it blank on the inside, too, because whoever wins this can make it a birthday card. They could make it a congratulations card, any kind of a card, because you're wishing happiness to somebody. So, all right, so our inside's done. We've got our octopus done. Now let's stamp our sentiment. And you've got this tasteful label. And we're going to use the stamp that says, wishing you oceans of happiness. So that's I'm going to practice first. So it's crooked. I see that it's really crooked. I'm going to bring it down to the right. Okay, so I practice along the edge of the paper to see how crooked it is compared to how I think it reads. And then I compensate for it by holding the stamp the other way. So I know it needs to come down on the right-hand side a hair. And let's see how I did. Oh, yeah, I like it. Okay, so by practicing, it helps you to stamp it good on the first try. All right, so now that that is all done, we're going to set this over here, set that there. We're going to do our blending. So the colors that you need, hi Tiffany Miller, or Mueller. The colors that you need are Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. And we're going to work on our background here. So you can see that this does definitely not look like what's back there. And it's because you got to add color to it. But it's so pretty when you see it. It's got shimmeriness to it. Oh, Doris, yes, these tropical colors are so cool. Very, very cool. I am using the same blending brush for both of these colors because they're so similar. And what we're doing is we're going to do the Coastal Cabana first. And I'm going to put 3 lines. It's kind of hard to see it, but, oh, you can kind of see it. You can see there's a little color here, which is a different color, and they alternate kind of. So it kind of looks like the current. There's different colors. So I always start with the brush off the edge, and then I work my way on. And this is going to take a little bit, you guys, especially if your brush is not primed and full of color. If you need to get it, like this has been in class now, like probably 15 people have used, 8 and 5 and 9. That many people have used this brush already. So it is loved right now. So Patty asks, how does the kits cost, and do you pick out what you would like? So this class is called the March monthly class, and it contains 3 card kits, which are the octopus, and also the last card we made, which was the flowering rain boots, and it has one more. And so you don't really get to pick out the card kits because it's a predetermined 3 cards. If you don't have the exact stamps that I'm using, you could use something else and change it up a little bit. This class in person, so I do in-person and online classes. In-person or porch pickup is this 3 cards, $15 are free with a $25 order. Patty, where's Amory? I'm in Fond du Lac. And so I don't know where Fond du Lac is compared to Amory. I'm going to do a little bit more on the bottom here. You might not even see this, but, and if you want the kits mailed, there's a cost for mailing them. So it would be $5 for mailing, so that makes it $20. And then if you want to place an order, it would be free with a $45 order. So I make all my classes that are 3 card and 4 card just free with a $45 order versus before the new year, I had a different pricing and that got confusing. So I just kind of made it all the same. Any one of my classes that you can get free with a minimum order is always a $45 order if you need the kits mailed. So I kind of kept it the same. So you guys see what I did here? I added some of the Coastal Cabana in a couple different sections. Now what I'm going to do is follow up with Bermuda Bay. So Patty, you're going to have to go to Google Maps and check out where Amory is. I don't know exactly where Amory is, and I don't want to do it. It is the north. I used to live there in the north. So I don't know how far away it is though. If it's an hour or 2. I do Saturday classes, so I do have gals. Like Jody Storman comes from Amherst, and she drives down for Saturday classes, which is awesome. She's about a good hour away. So you guys, what I've got now is the Bermuda Bay. And what I'm doing is adding more color in the area where I didn't have the color. And I'm slightly going over the cabana color. And with this, the trick is just to keep adding color and get it as dark as you want it. So right now I just went like 1 line over there. I'm starting off the edge every time, and then I work my way on it. Jody Storman, you're so cute. Oh, gave me a little smiley face. All right, so it's still a little light for me, so I'm gonna keep going over that area until I get it darker. But you can see what's happening here, guys. I've got this kind of different variations of the blue. And you guys, for some reason, there is some adhesive right there. We need to get that off of there. Okay, one more section here. And add this blue color. And I generally, you see me, I always start off the edge and work my way on. Because otherwise what happens is if you go straight to it, you get it looking like that. And it looks very distinct. And sometimes that's not the look that you're going for. Well, I live in Washington now, so it's so far to come. I would love to come. Oh, Patty, yeah, that is a little bit far away. But that's why they have the United States Postal Service. And I bet everybody who's gotten an online card class from me with kits will give me a thumbs up or a heart right now, and you'll see how many people are watching right now that take my classes, that get kits mailed to them. So I definitely, I had 60 packages that went out in the mail today, you guys. It was awesome. All right, I'm going to do a little bit more right through the middle. Kathy Groves is going to come up from Texas one day. Yay, I love it. Perfect. I had Ellen Brover came from Florida for the Winter Creative Escape. So that was awesome. So you guys, this is basically what I did. We started off with it looking like this. And then we added some color. And so we made our background blue. Look at all the love, you guys. Yay. See? Lots of people take my classes. I like fun folds alone, you guys, 88, 62 of them were mailed out. So, all right, they were mailed out or porch pickup. So I do have people who are local that do the porch pickup. So, hi Dee Serena from Hagerstown, Maryland. Woohoo! So, I think that's it for stamping, and now we can work on the assembly for this. And let's get this guy put together. There are a little bit of tips and tricks that I have for you guys on this one. So, first off, the kits are beautifully done. Thanks, Noreen. I appreciate that. We are going to Stella. We forgot to Stella the last one. Hildy, she takes my classes, and she's in California. Yay. we're gonna Stella up our greenery here. So I have had some really positive feedback from you guys. I truly appreciate hearing how much you enjoy the kits and the detail that I put into my classes and the all the little, like the extra little things that I don't know how to do things simple. If you guys haven't figured that out, I like to have lots of layers and always have embellishments, and I always have ribbon as much as I can. And Anne is all about the blends lately. That's awesome. Yeah, so you have, Patty, you have to be able, so you have to have your own stamps, ink, and adhesives. Otherwise, like what you just saw me start with tonight is what you get, but it's all not stamped and it's not assembled. So you would need to have some sort of stamps, some sort of ink. Hi, Donna, joining late. And you need adhesives to put your cards together. So you guys, here's the trick on this. If you see this, PDF and video being able to pause makes creating the card from the, so easy. Awesome. Thanks, Doris. So you guys see this? That's not going to work. If you try to put this up through here, it gets caught. So what you need to do, oh, or just order her card kits. Yes, you need to snip this right here, you guys. 1, 2, snip those right there. And then what will happen is you will be able to slide this other, the one on the left, you'll be able to slip it right through there and weave it up a bit. So it's like your grass, your seaweed is kind of, hi Faye Godby, you have your seaweed now hanging out in the other seaweed, okay? Super cool. All right, so that was the trick on that, to get that to come up there. And now you kind of want to put a dimensional or something back there to hold that in place like that. So now what needs to happen is we're going to glue a couple things. We can glue our inside and the outside here. Anne says the classes are great. Yay! I love making you guys laugh and I love inspiring you. I think that you've figured out my two things that I love the most about helping you guys. Hi, Carla Lake. Okay, so the shimmery one goes on the outside here. Just center it left to right, top to bottom. Okay, thanks for sharing, Linda. I appreciate it. And then your inside can go on the ends. Oh, opens like that. I forgot about that. Okay, and then the window here. You need to flip this over completely. If you are a dimensionalizing kind of person, dimensionalize. If you want to glue it flat, you could do it too, but I think it's super cool having it popped up. So we're going to put some dimensionals. I'm going to try to put big dimensionals where I can, and then I'll fill in with little dimensionals. And this is where I need to buy stock in dimensional goods. Hi, Lizzie. All right, so now we're going to do some small ones, and I will use some of the side on here and fill in as much as you can. And you don't want it kind of having that saggy middle syndrome issue. So, all right, so right here, we'll put some, and I think I'm gonna put one right in there. We're gonna get a few more along the edge here. And I'm gonna avoid this area where the octopus is because I'm gonna sneak him in at the end, but I feel like I need some more down here, so I need a skinny one right there. I think that might be sufficient. So now that you got all them on there, you're gonna have to sit there and pick them all off. Did you see how I really did not glue that grass or that foliage seaweed in there? I basically slipped it in there and then I put 2 dimensionals on the back. And that is going to be enough to keep it in place. And once you've picked all the backs off, now you just got to get it centered right over, oh, I got one more right there. You get it centered right over your card front. And once you get it where you want it, then you can squish it down good. All right, now the octopus, we're going to use this one. And we're going to use a few dimensionals for him. Now, did you see how I didn't put any sort of adhesive right there? That's because I need to be able to lift that up and sneak my guy in here. So he's going to kind of swim. He's like working his way in here. You can put him as low as you want, but he's hiding out behind all of that greenery here. Yay, he's good. And then, you hope you don't lose your pool party ribbon. I lost my tear and nape. Nope, I put it right back in its home. So you have this little piece of pool party ribbon. What you're gonna do is fold it in half, and I would actually put that tear and tape back here, and then when you fold it in half, it'll adhere. So you got it kind of coming out the back, but then you're gonna take one more piece and put it right over the top of it, okay? So you've got this little bit of tail coming out here, and that's hanging over slightly, so I don't want that hanging over. And I'm not gonna peel that off, okay? Because if I peel that off, it's gonna wanna stick there. And actually, I want it to pop up, so I'm going to put a few dimensionals on the back here. Nope, I don't want one right there, because this is already popped up here, but this is not popped up here, so by doing that, then I'm gonna put some liquid glue right there. So you guys saw that I popped up my frame, and I'm gonna just put a little bit of adhesive. I'm contemplating taking that tear and tape off, but I think it'll stick onto this bottom part. Hi, Laura Sullivan. So I just put liquid glue on that side, which will catch that frame, and then I popped up the left side, and now it's nice and smooth across. And grab your ribbon scissors, and you can cut your tails however you like, but they're just kind of like that. And then you have 3 opal rounds in your kit. Either too big and a small or too small and a big, however I did that. And then got one there. So it's like the little octopus has his little tiny bubbles and he's breathing out. Yep, and there we go. Isn't that cool? It's so tropical, kind of, right? Does it make you want to go snorkeling and find that octopus down there? Have you guys ever gone snorkeling and found an octopus? So Tyler and I snorkeled in Hawaii, and we did see turtles, and we saw a whole bunch of crazy colored fish, which was super cool. But wouldn't it be the most, I don't know, is it good to see an octopus under the water? So if you did end up coloring your octopus, kind of like crazy like I did, but if you did it a little nicer, like when you stick that back there like that, you would still know it's an octopus because of all the tentacles coming out. So, but he's going in the garbage. I colored him so bad. All right, you guys, we got 2 done. So I'm freezing. I don't know why I'm freezing, but my hands are good. So hopefully, I hope it's not everybody else freezing. So, all right, we got that guy done, and we're going to clean the stamps really quick. Make sure. Hi, Jewel Easterling. Woohoo! How you guys like it? Good, good, good. Tech the movie, my octopus shall make you cry. Oh no. All right, so we're gonna clean these really quick. I'm gonna go out of my video and come back in. I'm curious if anybody else, I meant watch the movie. And don't you guys love the auto type where it's like just kind of will put in whatever it thinks you want it to put in? All right, I lost my video of you guys here. So let me see if I can get that back really quick, because I like to watch along just to make sure nobody else is. Oh my goodness, what is going on? I wonder if my internet was off. Hang on, is anybody else freezing? Oh my gosh, I was on my house internet the whole time. Okay, well that's why I started freezing. Okay, let's get back into this video. And this will work much, well, it should. I'll give it a second while I get these stamps out of here. Okay, and boom, boom. Okay, there, it finally came up. All right, so let's get you guys back here. There it is. All right, cool. So nobody was freezing. Yay! Isn't that awesome? Isn't that funny? I was the only one freezing because I had my house internet on. Oh man, leave it to me. Okay, cool. So perfect. I'm so happy that nobody was freezing. Okay, so you guys, this is crazy. Out of all of the 3 cards that we did tonight, 75% of the people have said that this card is their favorite because they think the bunny is so adorbsy. Oh my goodness. So I really like the other 2 cards, but you know, cute wins all the time, right? So, all right. So this stamp set, you guys, 3 people bought this stamp set for in class. after I did this class. So this is the stamp set. It's from the mini catalog. It's called Easter Friends. You've got this adorable little bunny. You've got your little quacker, and you got your little peep peep here, your little chickadee. And then there's Happy Easter, sending warm and happy wishes this spring, my friend, little grass. May your days blossom with joy and happiness. So everybody said it was so adorable. And we got some pearls and some pastel pearls. Some colors that I used for this one are Early Espresso, So Saffron, and Blushing Bride, and Crumb Cake. Okay, so 4 colors is what I pulled in. You could probably get by with just 2, depending on, you really only need Crumb Cake, to be honest with you. But let's see here. So I had to pull in a marker here too. Like this bunny one, but not my favorite. Yeah, so, oh, Aline says it's an awesome stamp set. Yes, the grass is cool. So let's grab the rest of the stamps here. I'll show you guys what you have in your kits. I did pull in a sponge dauber for the cheekies. So his cheeks are just ever so slightly blushing. Like you just told him a little joke, I guess. Something naughty. All right. So you guys, this is what... So seriously, the monthly class is the class I've been doing the longest. I've started doing this class in 2015. So 7 years, every month, I have done this class with 3 cards, and I've always featured 3 different stamp sets, and sometimes they're a bundle, but I make it versatile. So, and this is the hardest class for somebody to take online because it involves the most amount of product, because if you just saw what we've all done so far, that's a lot. So if you have your own collection of stuff at home, this class is not bad because you probably have something you could interchange. But if you're just beginning out, this class might be hard because of all the different variety. Whereas like the sweet bundle class that I do, that keeps everything contained within basically a stamp set. And so that's why this monthly class is always just trying to showcase as much or as many different things as possible. So we've got variety. You guys just saw we went from a watering can to an Easter bunny to an octopus. It was like all over the board. So, all right. The kit, you guys, it's all white and brown. You look at this and you're like, wow, what's all in here? So don't forget, though, you do have 3 pastel pearls that are randomly floating around with one little pearl here, you guys, that is for your flower. This little teensy tiny flower. If anybody wants to know where that comes from, I will tell you, just in case inquiring minds want to know. I was looking, so I saw somebody online had put this flower in the bunny's hands, and I'm like, well, I didn't know what flower they used, but I scoured this catalog trying to find a small, teeny tiny little flower, and I found it in this die set right here called All Squared Away. If you look right there, there is a little flower, and that is the flower. So this whole bundle right here, a $45 bundle or a $27 die set, all I did was use one little flower from it. So this just goes to show you, like, for these cards, I will pull out anything from anywhere that is current just to make the cards exactly how I want them to. So that's for that little baby flower. But that's what's awesome about getting these kits from me, you guys, is because I have all that stuff and I provide it for you when it's die cut. So crumb cake is this is a hamburger, you guys. So crumb cake is your base. I'll fold that guy in half and make sure your corners line up nice. It's a vertical card, so keep it facing this way. That'll help you. And then you have 2 white pieces. They are the same size, so don't worry. One's inside, one's outside. They're interchangeable. They're both 4 by 5 1/4. And this piece right here, if you're wondering, oh man, where did this come? It is not the marbled paper from Sale-a-bration. If you flip it over, ta-da, you guys, it's from the Sweet Talk. I had like 8 sheets of this, 12 by 12. I'm like, oh man, we have to design a card using this. And I'm like, oh, it's perfect with the bunny. So if you're wondering where the scallop comes from, that is from hand-penned dies. So that's in the annual catalog as well. So that's already done for you. And so that'll be for your outside. You have a piece of basic white for stamping your bunny. I had so much craft paper, 2-inch strips of craft paper from a card. So you guys, I'm like, we're using scraps on this one. You guys, I cleaned up the craft room. So this is a scrap basically, and I had a bunch of them. So that craft paper is for the background. You have a piece of art floral ribbon, which is from the annual catalog. It's got that gold shimmeriness to it. That's there. Here's your little flower. and then you'll have the pearls, and then you have a banner like this. It is longer than what the card has, just in case you might have had a longer sentiment. Just know you can trim it off, and that's what I'm going to do with mine too. And that's where the sentiment goes. So we've got stamping, stamping, stamping. Let's get our stamping done first. And the bunny is so awesome. He stamps so crisp and so clean. It's awesome. It's amazing. And it's crumb cake. And when you ink that up, we're going to just set these here. When you ink that up, you don't need a lot, and he's going to go right on that white piece. And I just tried to center it as much as I can, get him so he's trying to stand up, put his back straight if you can. Not that he's hunching down forward. Okay, but there's so much detail in him. Just look at that, how detailed that's stamped. So cool. So I'm going to give that a second, because I don't want to go right to it with my Blushing Bride, because I feel like I know the ink dries really fast, but I don't want to smear it at all. So I am going to give it a second while we do the rest of this. So one of the tricks that I like to do is I like to stamp my sentiment first on the inside, because if I stamp my focal image and then I mess up my sentiment, then I still got to flip it over and redo both. This way, if I do my sentiment bad, I can just flip it over and not redo the focal image. I'm going to practice. So this stamp really gave you a bad halo. I did notice that in class. What is the brown thing? It's a silicone kitchen sheet thing. It comes on a roll. It's sticky. One of my customers, Carol Alanis, saw whenever I would stamp, like the ink pad would sometimes come up, but this helps kind of like keep things from slipping around. So it's a silicone like kitchen sheet. Oh, very nice. That's good. I'll take that. And then the other sentiment that I have is the Happy Easter. And so when I ink that up, I'm going to make sure I stamp closer to my banner. So this is the perfect, Donna. Thanks for answering too. I appreciate that. This is one of the pick a banner punch. I like the opposite of the banner. So the Happy Easter. Good. And we're going to do that a little closer to the left than to the right. And so it's easier to see it this way. So if you don't like the way it stamps, just remember you can flip it over. Oh, I got a halo. See, that's what you call a halo, right on top of the E. This set really gave halos, okay? So I am not going to clean it because I'm not going to waste my time. I'm just not going to press as hard right there. And that is my trick. You could have the dirtiest, messiest stamp, you guys, but if you don't press too hard, you shouldn't get that halo. So I'm not rocking the stamp that way, and I didn't get the halo. So I know there's a bunch of people that would have taken the time and tried to clean all that up before stamping. If you just get good at stamping without pressing too hard, you won't get that halo. There I pressed harder again and I got it, but I knew I couldn't press that hard over there. Okay, so that's it for the early espresso. You could have used any brown that you have if you didn't have early espresso, but now we have our little baby chickadee here. So a little bunny, not a bunny, a little peep here. And because he's facing that way, I want to put him in the left corner. Generally, I always like the right corner, but because then he's looking off the page. This way he's looking onto, and I can't see that. So let's do like this. Okay. Oh, he's adorable. Look at this little dude. Isn't he cute? He looks so fuzzy. Okay, now we're going to do our pink. Pink, pink, pink cheekies. All right, so you got to be super duper careful. When you dip into the ink pad and go like this, he's gonna be thinking something really, really, really naughty, and that's why his cheeks are that dark. Okay, so always tap off a little bit of ink before you go over to where he is. And so I'm hardly putting any pressure, but you can see I've got a little bit of pink on his cheekies. You could trim. Yes, absolutely, Jewel. That is exactly what you could do. And I would probably do that on here. So what Jewel is saying is you could take and cut this off. And that's what I would do. I have a rubber scissor, a stamp for cutting my rubber stamps. And you could just trim that right off. And then it's not there. So, yep, perfect. That's a good idea. And let's see here. Let's get that yellow off of there. Now I think we got all of our stamping done. Oh, we're not done quite yet. So I have a green marker, you guys. Hi, Kathy Jackson from Iola, Wisconsin. It is Old Olive Light. If you have a pear pizzazz, that would work too. But what you need to do is just draw a stem here. That's it. Just draw a little stem, basically, so that is your flower. And then what happens is that little flower, dimensionals are right here. Just use a little dimensional, the back side of that, and then that flower can go on your bunny's hand, like, oh, I'm bringing you a little flower. Okay, so this guy right here, you can see what I did. I stamped it closer to the one edge. So I'm gonna just trim that off with my scissors. On the back side, on the bottom, I am going to put the tear-in tape. And that is going to help hold my ribbon. I really ripped that off the right length there. Perfect. So you have this piece of art floral ribbon. And what you can do is just you've got the tear-in tape along the bottom. You can just set your ribbon right into it. And it'll stick to it. And then what you're going to do is grab your ribbon scissors and follow the curve of your banner. And then you're going to just follow the edge of the banner on the other side. And so now you've got that ribbon along the bottom, like that. And I did pop that up with dimensionals. And so we're going to I'm going to wait on that. So, because I want to get the other part done. So we're going to do a little bit of gluing here. Let's see what we can glue. So grab this pink piece and we're going to pop up the left side. So you can see here, I popped up that side with dimensionals and I glued it flat over here. So run your dimensionals along the scallop side. I'm just going to put like 5 of them. That is done. So, and then pick those off. And then we're going to put liquid glue on the other side. So here to there, and as long as I got my glue open, I'm going to glue my inside in. There. So this one goes on this white one. And I've got a little bit of white sneaking or peeking out on the left. So that's there. And then that should glue nice and flat. Now, if for any reason that pink paper is too long, all you need to do is take your scissors after it's been glued on, take your scissors, and you can trim off any little excess overhang. And then you've got the white that goes on the inside that says, sending warm and happy wishes this spring. Goes right there. And then this one can get a little glue, and this craft piece also is going to go here. So I don't want to glue the back of the white where the bunny is because I might put too much glue. So I'm actually just going to glue a little bit like that is what I'll do. But we're going to put this down first here. So for you guys that have those hand pen dies, I just did the hand penned class. Ink, paper, scissors. I think it was 3 weeks ago. That scallop die is part of that. So if you guys ended up getting those dies, that scallop is part of that die set, which is super cool. So now our bunny is going to go here. My voice is back. You got that right, Kathy. Yay. And I woke up and I felt like I got a good night's sleep. So you guys don't worry about the bottom. The bottom is going to get covered up. What you want to do is make sure that you have the right amount of craft on the top and the right. Don't even worry if that bottom is too thin or not. You're not going to see the bottom anyways, okay? So that's what we're doing is gluing that on there. I got kicked out. I wonder if you guys all got kicked out. Let's see here. See if I can get back in. Oh, there it is. There, we're back. Okay, cool. So like 17, 18, 19 people got kicked out along with me there. I have no idea why. Okay, so now we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. So let's put that. I'm going to put 6 of them back there. And we're going to put that on the top right-hand side of the card. And something like over here. I'm not going to press it down right yet. I'm just going to kind of let it sit there, make sure that's where I want it. Because I wanted the bunny to have like the saying underneath to make it stand like he's standing on it kind of, and that's going to go right about there. So I think that I'm trying to make sure like the distance from here to here is about even. So that's good. So the thing is, I did not want to put dimensionals on the back here yet because I knew part of this was getting popped up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up the bottom, but I'm going to do that by using a long strip here. So I'm going to cut this in half on this bottom section. And I'm going to use that at the bottom. And then I'm going to put tear and tape, I think, along the top. So I'm going to put this right there. So that part is going to be right below. So when you look at it, that's right below that. And now that's the same height. And then what we're going to do is put a little bit of liquid glue, actually. We'll run a little strip of that at the top. And then that's going to go. I got it kind of hanging over the right here, slightly, making sure I'm straight along the bottom. Hi, Jean Benson. And then got that. And you should have, so we have pearls. So you guys, I put one single pearl. Yes, hopefully it did not get lost in the mail, but one little pearl is what went in the middle of the flower. Again, when I slide this in there, I just kind of lift that up. And then in here, we've got some pastel pearls. You guys got 3 colors. I gave you a purple, a pink, and a purple. So we're going to put the pink one over here. And then I've got a light purple I gave you guys, and a dark purple. Had to use those. These pastel pearls were from the hydrangea suite last year. And I had a couple packs of them. I'm like, we need to use these in a class, so I used them up. So that's why and they just fit with this card so nicely because it's so soft. Now, for Stella-ing though, what would you Stella? I would not Stella the bunny, you guys. We talked about this with the fun folds last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, that this is the kind of if you Stella this, you will lose that detail of the stamp. It'll get blended and smear together. So what I might do on this, and you got to be careful too, guys, this art floral ribbon does fray. So you got to be careful with that. It's going to fray slightly. What I would do is, if you really like, because we try to Stella everything, right? I would Stella the edge here. Get a little glitter on that. If you really, really wanted to, you could Stella his or her cheeks a little bit so that you got a little Stella on there. The first card that we did, the same thing happens with this one. You don't want to Stella these flowers too much because they will bleed together. So I'm going to Stella the handle here. And the other thing you could Stella on this one is the trellis-y thing here, just to give it a little bit of a bedazzle going on. Hi, Louise Power. Louise, I think I need an address from you. You have won a card. I think I recall your name from last week, Friday. If you give me your address, like email it or text me your address, I will send the card that you won. I'm pretty sure you did. You want to hug the bunny. Cindy says she wants to hug the bunny. I love it. Isn't he adorable though? I mean, he's just, so I will tell you, I always ask people at the end of class, which is your favorite, right? Like I ask you guys, and in person so far, everybody has, well, not everybody, I'd have to say 75% of people have said that the bunny is their favorite. Oh, that wasn't even attached. So, all right, let's get this kind of buttoned up here and get this back in the kit. And I'm going to bring back and show you guys, where did I put the octopus card? That is right, where did we set? Oh, he's right here. All right. Hi, Jan. Hey, Cheryl Thomas. So, you guys, these are what we did today for our March monthly class. We have our cute, adorable little bunny. Doris likes the octopus. Jean likes the bunny. Sue says the bunny. I'm just curious how many of you guys are going to say bunny because it really was about 75% for the bunny And then a few people said the octopus, and not many people said my watering can card. So you guys are saying the same thing. Oh, Cindy likes the watering can. Okay, good. So Cindy and I are on the same page with the watering can. But, you know, all in all, wouldn't you be happy with getting any one of these in the mail from somebody, right? Because they all are cool. Oh, hi, Winnie. Oh, there's Nancy Collier. Bertram is my son-in-law's first name. Oh, very cool. Okay. I get the question asked a lot if I'm related to the Bertram yachts. And I'm like, nope, if I would be, I probably wouldn't be like doing cards. I'd probably be riding around on the ocean somewhere in a yacht. All right, so you guys are all liking the bunny and the octopus too. Overall, I think that's what the general consensus is for this as well. So you guys are all on the same page with everybody. So that's awesome. All right, so we need to do a little, oh, Gian loves them all. I like that too. We need to do a little drawing, you guys, because I always do a door prize drawing for people who place orders to get the card class for free with me. And I failed to write down how many we had. So you're going to have to watch my forehead for a second while I do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Woohoo. Okay, so we had 11 people from the online class that placed an order to get these card kits for free. So when you guys place orders to get the classes from me for free and you use the host code, it helps me to get host dollars. And when I get the host dollars, I use those host dollars to buy the products that I need for the class. Like lots of them. You guys, I just closed a workshop and I bought all the embellishments that I need for the flowering tulips. I got 8 packs of the brushed brass butterflies because I'm like, oh, I think that I'm going to need that many because I have this feeling that there's going to be like 80 people signed up for that one too. So that's what I do. And then what happens is if I get to the end of a catalog and I've accidentally ordered because I forecast too much product and I get it with host dollars, if I have extra product, then I put that into my vault and then I give away door prizes to those people that help by placing orders. So that's how that kind of works. So, and I'm going to show you the April monthly cards. I have not forgotten. Okay, so I'm going to flip down here in a second and we're going to do the random number generator. And we're going to put in 11 and we're going to see who won. So Susan Reed, you won yesterday. I don't know if you caught that, but when you take, and so how the door prize works is your door prize gets mailed to you in the next class that you get from me. So it helps to save on shipping. So I like to give away prizes, but I don't have to spend $4 to $5 to ship something that's small. So I add it to the next, I mean, I could, but I like to save on shipping just like I like to save you guys on shipping when I can consolidate your classes. So I add your door prize to the next class that you get with me. So we're going to flip down, you guys, and we have 11. Oh, Cheryl, I'm so glad that you liked the class. All right, so I think I said 11. So we're going to do 11 and we're going to click the word generate. 7. 7 is Wendy. Wendy Westmoreland. All right, Wendy from Orlando. You are the lucky winner of a door prize. So I will set aside a prize for you. And then when you get your next class, I'll make sure to add it to you, add it to your package. Okay. And last but certainly not least, you guys, I'm so excited. Are you ready to see the cards for, okay, so this class next month is April already, and the April. So you guys, I have this PDF schedule. It's in my newsletter link. So if you go to cardsbycrispy.com and you go to the newsletter, this is the first thing that pops up. It's my class schedule, okay? So that's what I'm reading off of. And my monthly class for April in person is either the 13th, which is a Wednesday in the afternoon and the evening, on Saturday the 23rd at 10, or you guys, we're going to be live here on April 14th at 6 p.m., okay? So the cards that we're going to be making, drum roll. Okay, so we have our Paradise Palms. So if you do not have anything but a sentiment that would fit in here, you are set, you guys. So this is from a set called Paradise Palms. All the palm trees, the sun, and the labels will all be die cut for you. The background will be embossed. You literally have to stamp a sentiment in black, and the rest is assembly. So easy peasy. On the inside here is a palm tree, a sentiment, and a sun. So, you know, your insides are whatever you make of them, but just know your outside will look pretty much like mine, except for your sentiment. Okay, so this one features the Hello Ladybug. So you need to figure out a leaf and your dots and a sentiment. So you'll get the black base, the designer paper. You'll also get this already embossed. It's the hive. Your red and black are going to be punched out for you. Oh my gosh. I will even make all your bows for you. And you'll need a sentiment here. And then this leaf is part of the ladybug set, and you need to fussy cut it. So if you don't have the leaf and you just want to put the ladybug on the card and stamp a sentiment, you could always create your own little circles. So these little black dots are circles like from a stamp, from the ladybug stamp. So on the inside, it looks like that. So you got your little ladybug on the inside. So another one that's very, very easy to duplicate to match what I have. If you don't have the ladybug set, but if you have a leaf and a sentiment and somehow to put some dots, and you wouldn't even have to put the dots on the ladybug if you don't want to. Okay, so this is from date night, you guys. This is the card that Tyler and I made together. And it is a fun fold. And I had not used the Hats Off dies or stamp set from the annual catalog. And it may or may not be retired. We'll find out in a couple weeks. But I thought, oh, I need to use this. And so, you guys, it's so cool. So the hat is die cut. This is die cut, die cut, die cut. So pretty much you're going to be able to make this card exactly. You'll get some pebbles to put on the side. Tyler cut this path. So I was having a hard time figuring out. So I had everything done except for I didn't know what to do with the path, and the tree got added. Tyler fussy cut this with a scissors. So he started off with a piece of crumb cake piece like this, and he cut a path, and I'm like, that looks not good. And so I took what he cut, and I cut out the middle part to make it look like a path. And then he stamped it with some grungy stamp, oceanfront stamp, and he just stamped it to look like a dirty path. Okay, so then it's an easel card, you guys. So it props up, and there's this little hat here that you'll get die cut for you. And then on your inside, this is embossed with the bark embossing folder, which I'll do for you. I'll even score this. And then you'll have a piece of vanilla, and you can stamp a sentiment and put whatever you want on the bottom if you want. And an awesome guy card. If you need a guy card, like this is the ultimate guy card, you guys. So this little tree comes from Mountain Air. You do have to MacGyver it a little bit. You have to give it a haircut and cut off like a chunk of it. Otherwise, it's really a lot longer. But you guys, simple, easy card. So Tyler was so proud of this card. I had to take pictures of it and send it to his coworker because she needed to see it. She didn't believe it. Or I don't know what it was, but so yeah. So this was definitely a joint effort. So this is what I have for you guys for this class next month. 3 completely different cards. Again, one more feminine, one more masculine, and one that is very universal. So that's what I love about the monthly class, is that you get some variety with this. So the last class, you guys, that he helped me with a card was the Beauty of the Earth that we did a year ago almost. So very cool. Yeah, gold star to Tyler. You got that right. When I put this one up on the board, he's definitely going to put a gold star on it. So yeah, make sure you guys, I am planning, so generally I plan 48 for the monthly class. I'm going to plan for 56 on this one, just because I think you guys might like his Tyler's hat card. And you know what? If I have extra of it, it's okay. Like, they will eventually go. So very cool. So we had a lot of fun. So there's April. April just texted me, and that's the girl I had to, she's the one I had to send it to. That's funny. Okay. So, all right, let me see if I got anything else. And I got kicked out of Facebook again, you guys, and so did a whole bunch of you. So, all right. So I'm so happy you guys like that. Who's Tyler? Tyler's my man. He's my boyfriend. You guys, we've been dating for about 4 years as of this week-ish month, something like that. We've been friends since 2008, and we started dating about 4 years ago. And between 2008 and 2018, for those 10 years, we both dated other people. And finally, we both weren't dating somebody, and we both started dating. So that's who Tyler is. Yeah. So he gives the gold stars to the cards in class. Like he'll go around, and he's my little gold star fairy, kind of like he'll put gold stars on the cards that he likes. So yes. Oh, yeah. So sometimes a few of you have seen Tyler sightings. If you've been here in person, sometimes he's here, and sometimes he will sneak in and give me a kiss while we're doing a live. Like, he's done that twice, I think. So, and that always makes me blush. So, all right, you guys, it's Friday night. It's what? I'm guessing 7:30. No, it's only an hour and 30. It's 7:09. Woohoo! I told Tyler I'd be done about 7:30, and then we're gonna see what we're gonna do tonight because it's Friday night. Yeah, and it was a rough week this week. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And I had mentioned I'm gonna do the showcase for the April cards coming up in the next. It won't be tomorrow. I know that for sure. And I don't know what's happening on Sunday yet, but by Monday I want to have that showcase done. Because we started changing the cover photos that you guys see, like more close-ups of the cards, and I do the showcase to show you the full cards. So you should have them stamped sometime on live. You know what? I teased him about teaching this April class. Like I said, you should come and help me teach this class. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. So we'll see. All right, you guys. So sometime by Monday, I'll plan to do that showcase. And Monday night, don't forget, you guys, clue number 1 has been posted for Mystery Card Night. Not a lot of people. Some people were asking about the DSP. There's a accent DSP. And there's a prominent DSP. That means that you have a more focal image, more like pattern, more bold. An accent is something that like looks nice with it, right? So just know that there isn't a lot of stamping on this. There's no focal images really. There's only a sentiment. Your designer series paper is going to be the bread and butter of this card, okay? And if you didn't know, I always do my mystery card based off of the sweet bundle that is being featured this month, which, you guys, is New Horizons. So you know that New Horizons paper has all these beautiful backgrounds. And so my prominent one, not to give too much away, but hint, hint, my prominent design is a beautiful scene from one of those New Horizons. And then I found a matching piece from that pack to be another accent piece. So yes, Marcia, definitely catch the replay. So just some hints about Mystery Card Night. I don't ever want it to be stressful for anybody. And if you don't like what you pick, you can always pick new paper and make something else. So, so perfect, you guys. All right. If you, let's already have my pieces cut out. Awesome, Donna. You're getting a gold star for being very prompt and on time and ready with your homework done. I love it. So, all right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and hugs to you. Have a great rest of your Friday night. We will see you live in the Monday for sure. Yeah, love you guys. We'll see you later.